everyone. So it is almost 1 o'clock on Tuesday, December 6th. And this is day 2 of me not sticking to my schedule that I made for myself. Yay. Like I said yesterday, one of my goals is to just be okay with like being flexible with my schedule and not being like so uptight about when I get things done, but being more like having more self-discipline about how long I spend on certain tasks. Because I have the tendency to I have the tendency to procrastinate. I'm going to put it that way. I get distracted very easily and I go and like do a million other things instead of like the things that I set out to do. Or I do those things, but it's like I don't end up having enough time to do them because I got distracted randomly making an Instagram reel or randomly doing research on like jobs and school and whatever. But I've been doing really well with that today. I did wake up late again because I live in Canada and it's so dark out all the time. Like, it's like every day is gloomy and it's not even like snow. It's just depression. Like it's just gloomy weather. That's like not fun. I mean, it's great for writing and honestly, like it has really been helping me focus, but yeah, like it's also really messing with my mood. So I am currently getting ready to leave my house because I did not leave my house once yesterday. And I find that even though I love being home and I love like working from home, I do definitely need to at least like leave for like a little bit in order to feel not so sad. And also just to like, you know, motivate myself and keep myself doing productive things. So this was not in my schedule today. My schedule today was that I was supposed to wake up and immediately start working on my book. That didn't happen. Instead, I went straight to reading my Bible, which, you know, we love to see it. I'm happy I did that. I needed that. And what I was reflecting on this morning, I'm doing like an Advent devotional. We were talking about the relationship between like forgiveness and hope. And it actually relates really well to like some of the stories that I'm writing. So I was excited about that and really encouraged by that and just like really needed that time this morning alone with God to just like really connect with him and reflect on his character. So I'm really glad that I did that. And then I was like, okay, well, one of my schedules, which is my Monday schedule and my like rest of the week schedule, pretty much like I'm alternating 2 different schedules. This one schedule was, okay, read Bible and then go work out and then get ready and then write. I didn't do that. I did what I did yesterday, which is I got up, read my Bible, had breakfast, and as you can see, I was watching YouTube, like a vlog to kind of get me in the mood, and I wrote for like 2 hours, I think, or an hour and a bit, something like that, and I was really productive. I added like a whole flashback that I originally took out of the Winds of Destiny manuscript when I was editing, and then I decided that it needs to be there, maybe not in this exact place, but like I wrote it out there anyways, and I can always go back and like move it around if I find a better place to put it. But yeah, I got a lot of words in. I really like what I wrote too. Like it wasn't like trash, which is always encouraging. Other writers, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Nothing feels worse than when you spend hours writing something and then you read it and you're like, this is absolute garbage. So I'm happy that I liked what I wrote. What I was originally supposed to do this afternoon was write again. But like I said, I need to get out of the house. So I decided that I'm actually gonna go to the mall because I haven't been to the mall near my house in forever. So goal is to go to Marshall's. I might pop into the bookstore, look at some things, get some inspiration. Other goal is to not buy Starbucks because Lord knows I spend way too much money on coffee. Yeah, so then I'm going to go to Marshall's. I'm going to walk around a little bit, get outside in the cold and gloom. And then I'm going to come back and have some lunch and I might read this afternoon, or I'm going to work on buying people's Christmas gifts because I am so behind on that. But for now, I'm just going to finish getting ready. much later in the night now. It's like 7:41 p.m. and I ended up doing a lot of work this afternoon. I started my Christmas shopping, which was one of my goals for today. And I ended up reading a little bit too. I'm reading Children of Dune, and that was really fun. And then I had dinner and went for a walk with my parents. Yeah. So I told myself I was gonna write this evening and I was really in the mood for it before I went for my walk. But as we were out, I just had the sudden urge to play The Sims. This is the thing, is once I start playing The Sims, it's going to be really hard for me to stop playing The Sims. Like, it's what I'm going to maybe think about for like the next week every time I sit down to write. So I'm trying to like avoid doing that, especially because like I also want to get back into reading, and like I only read one chapter of Children of Dune. So I'm trying to decide that maybe I'll write for like an hour, and then after that hour I'll play like Sims for the rest of the night, and then like read before bed to like settle down. Because I don't know if anyone else is like this, but if I'm playing The Sims like right before bed, or if I'm writing right before bed, all my thoughts will be focused on those things. Like, I will dream about making a Sims house. I will dream about the chapter I'm gonna write, and then I don't sleep. Oh, this is what I thought about doing. So I've been trying to find like live sprints, but like it's been impossible. Like, I don't know how you people find these things, but I'm thinking of maybe like putting on like a writing sprint to kind of like motivate me to work on my book, and like to make it like different than what I was doing this morning. So we are undecided right now, so I will let you know what I end up doing. Good afternoon, everyone. So it is Thursday. I didn't end up vlogging yesterday because I was out all day with people, and I literally think I was talking to people in person. That sounds terrible, but I really was legitimately talking from 9 a.m. until like 8 p.m. So the thought of even like looking at this camera and talking more, just I couldn't do it. And also I didn't get any writing done yesterday because after all of that, I just came home and I was just like, you know what would be great is if I just laid in bed and played Sims and went to sleep. And so that's what I did. Yeah, so today is like the first sunny day since I've gotten back from Florida. Like, this is crazy. Since it's sunny out, I decided to take advantage of that, and I'm gonna use this time to do some social media stuff and take some photos and footage for that. So I'm gonna do that because this lighting is immaculate. So I'm taking advantage of that, and then I'm probably also gonna go out and enjoy the sun a bit. I'm trying to get myself out of the house to get some fresh air, because even though it's cold out, like I know when I'm shut up in the house, like I just start feeling really off. I'm gonna go out for a walk probably, and I'm gonna walk to the mall because that's what I do. Really, at this point, you just gotta count how many times I'm gonna be at the mall in this because I live so close to the mall that it's like I'm there like almost every day. And that's what I'm going to be doing today. And the plan is that I'm going to get all this other stuff done during the day. And then in the evening after dinner, I'm cooking dinner tonight, which I'm very excited about. I love cooking. Ever since COVID, like I've discovered this like love for cooking that I have. And I'm so excited to get back in the kitchen. After I cook dinner and have dinner with my parents, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to set the mood and I'm going to write. I'm going to write until I'm tired. So that's the plan for the day. Yeah, let's just get to it. now like 10:44 p.m. and I have written a lot. I've been sitting here writing since like 7, I think, or like maybe like closer to 8, so it's been like almost 3 hours. I got so much done. I finished up chapter 8, which is like the 3rd chapter in part 2 of this novel, and then before that I had like finalized some things with chapter 7 that I needed to fix up, and chapter 7 was really where I was stuck for like a long time, and then things just started freaking clicking. And that always feels so good when it's like, you know, you've been struggling on a chapter for so long and it just like feels like this puzzle that like if you get the right piece, like the whole puzzle will just like fall into place, and like that's literally like what just happened. And I don't know, like writing this book has been like rewriting this book and revisiting this book has been so weird. Like the book is supposed to be set in 2015 and I decided to keep that because I loved the nostalgia, and like that's like when I originally published the book, and so it's like within like that time period that I'm writing in. And so like my playlist has so many of the songs I was listening to when I was in high school. Like I have like Coldplay's like Every Tear is a Waterfall on there. I've got Arctic Monkeys. We've got like Imagine Dragons, which I was obsessed with in high school. Like so much. And like I've incorporated that a lot into like Carter's character, which I think was like such a good decision on my part now, like looking back when I started like rewriting this, because it like really like grounds her character in not just like in her setting, like her town, but like it really grounds her like within a time period too. And I think like the 2015 time period is not one we've like really gone back to yet, and so it's just been like really fun like writing this. I feel like now that I've taken time to like really like think through the story and like think about like, okay, like what, like I just know the questions to ask myself now that I didn't know when I first wrote this book. And so like the way I'm fixing the chapters is so intentional, and it's so like based on what does Carter want and what does Carter need. And I think like that's making the story so much stronger. Also, I like added like little I've changed some of the conversations that have like made like the stakes a little bit higher, I guess, or just like made certain things like more intense. Like if you've read the original book, you know there's this character named Bias, and he is basically Carter's B story character. So for those of you who don't know, who haven't read Save the Cat, like the B story character is a secondary character or another character in the story that like really like pushes the protagonist towards what they need and kind of either acts as like a foil for the protagonist or just like as a helper, or just like it's really just someone that like pushes them towards the direction where they need to be. And a Bias has like always been that. I just like didn't know what that was when I was like 14 writing this novel. A lot of like the conversations, and like if you've read the original story, like a lot of a Bias's storyline is gonna be the exact same. It is the exact same, not a lot of it. You know when you write for hours and you just like your brain is just dead. But yeah, basically like a Bias's storyline is gonna remain the exact same. I'm not changing anything about that. Knock on wood. Maybe. I don't think I will. I'm trying not to change too much. I'm just trying to make the story flow better. Basically, like in the scene that I'm writing, I just like started hinting at a few more things, and it's like very subtle to the point where it's like, you know, is he lying about stuff? Is he being honest about stuff? Like, I don't know. I just feel like it works, you know, like it's coming along very well. So I've not been sharing my word count or anything like in this because I have not really been looking at it. I've not been looking at like how many words I need. I've not been looking at any of that. Like I know like I'm supposed to, and like, or I'm not supposed to, I guess. Like I find my progress is best tracked when it's like by chapter, But like for the sake of like me feeling like I'm progressing towards something, I do kind of want to get into like the word count stuff a bit more. So this is my setup. I have the new draft for the second edition open on here, brand new, everything like that. And then over here I have, this is the original draft that like I kind of like look at and like rewrite onto like this side. For some reason, I cannot write in Scrivener. I love the program so much, don't get me wrong. I think it's amazing, especially like when you're world building and trying to, you know, keep track of like so many characters and stuff. Like I think Scrivener is crucial and it's such a great program, but I don't know what it is. My brain just like will not work with Scrivener. No matter how much I try, every book I write in Scrivener I feel like is trash, and I just like, it ruins like my flow. So I just use Google Docs. And then what I'm doing is I'm copy and pasting everything into Scrivener. So see, I have like the manuscript here, I have my chapters, and like I've split them all up into like scenes and stuff. And so I've just been doing it that way because that's just like what's been working for me. But like that means that this word tracker at the top, that means that my word count is very messed up right now. So I'm not gonna write anymore, even though I feel like I really want to. I know myself that I'm at a point where it's like good for me to stop and just like pick it up again tomorrow or pick it up again whenever I can. But before I go to bed and before I put this away, I'm gonna figure out my word count. Okay, so basically, oh my gosh, I don't even know how to get this up. Okay, I figured it out. My word count is 100,000, and I gave myself like an overdraft amount, and it says I have 39 days left. Oh my gosh, I might need to change my deadline. Originally, I wanted to have this book done by the end of this month, and then I didn't get as much writing done in Florida as I like wanted to and as I hoped to. And honestly, like, I'm gonna be super busy this month. It's Christmas, and for any of y'all who are involved in a church, this is busy season. I have a lot of plans and a lot of social plans because I haven't seen a lot of my people for like a few months. So realistically, I don't know if I'm gonna be done by January 31st, but we're gonna try our best because that's all we can do. And if it gets close to it, I might change the deadline. We'll see. Basically, I guess my session target for today was over 2,000 words, which is insanity to me. Like, how, I can't believe I'm only at 17,000 words. This is scary to me. So I'm obviously not gonna meet that word count, but I'm not gonna give up. I'm still really gonna try and like finish this book by January 31st. I think something that has been an issue for me is I don't set deadlines for myself, or I set unrealistic deadlines for myself, and then I give up. And then it takes me like so much, like it takes me so long to write books. And I think that's just because I haven't really challenged myself to stick to a deadline and hold myself accountable to a deadline and like really work hard to meet said deadline. So that's something that I want to learn with this, and especially because I'm rewriting the book, it's actually like this comes very easily to me for the most part. Writing is still hard, but like rewriting and editing is really where I thrive in this process. Like the first draft really just like, I hate it. I hate writing the first draft. So like I should do well with this. Like this should be a lot easier for me. And so I think this might be like a really good way for me to practice sticking to a deadline. But that 2,000 a word count goal scares me. Like, what is my word count goal gonna be tomorrow? Is it gonna be the same?
The woman was too stunned to speak.
Oh my gosh, I just fixed something. Oh my gosh. Okay, so originally I realized something. I just went into my document from like to look at like my session targets and everything, and I had marked off that I wasn't writing on Saturday, and like I am writing on Saturdays. I will write on Saturdays. Maybe I'll write on Sundays. I don't know. I'm trying not to write on Sundays. But like that's what was wrong. So now my word count is down to 1,785, which is still pretty high, but it's not over 2,000. Okay, this is encouraging. What if I said I'm writing on Sunday?
God, okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
Oh my gosh, it just went down so much. It literally dropped to 1,526. And it says I have 55 days left now, which makes way more sense than 39. I don't know what I was thinking. This is good. This means this is more realistic for me. If I write every day, at least for like a little bit, and get whatever words in, I will finish this book by January 31st. I think I can do it. But anyways, I feel very brain dead right now. So I'm gonna go to bed and I'll talk to you guys in the morning. Anyone else super short and can't reach anything in their house, like at all? Because that's what's happening right now. Anyone says cinnamon is an essential ingredient in making the best hot chocolate in the world. And that is the end of this vlog. I hope you guys had fun coming along with me on my writing journey this week. I really feel like I was really productive, to be honest. I think I met a goal, which was to get back into the swing of things, working on the Winds of Destiny 2nd edition. I really, like, one of the main things I really wanted to get out of this week was just re-immersing myself in my world, where like I'm constantly thinking about my book and I'm constantly wanting to go back and write it. And I think vlogging really helped, honestly. Like, I feel like this really motivated me to continue writing, and I feel so motivated right now to like really get to work and to really, you know, keep trying to get this book done by my deadline. If you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up, but most importantly, if you want to follow along with my creative journey more, hit subscribe and follow me on Instagram and or Goodreads. I read books not fast and not often anymore, and I'm trying to get back into reading as I'm also trying to get back into writing. So if you want to follow me on Goodreads as well, so you can encourage me to read more books this next year, definitely do that. Also, leave a comment. I really want to hear from you guys and really want to interact with you guys. One of the main reasons for making this channel is that I want to meet other writers and other readers. So definitely leave a comment, definitely subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.